Good morning, Crypto Warriors, and welcome back to the Gentlemen of Crypto, episode 146. Today is Monday, April 16th, and I'm King.
I'm Bitcoin Zay, and we're here to bridge the gap between cryptocurrency and the community Monday through Friday at 10-ish.
At 10-ish. Going on Crypto Q in the house, Crypto Knight, Jamal J, Tessa, Gia. Who else we got? Zoe
Jack
Roaster,
Black in here.
Jack Black. Crypto Knight, I think I said it, though. Everybody here.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, Bradley, what's going on?
Oh, yeah, you know we got to talk about it.
It's me, Boss Lady, S1 Dubs. All right, Ball and Chain. Yeah, Jack Black, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yep, you know we're going to talk about. You know what? First, let's talk about the free Bitcoin. Who won free Bitcoin last time?
All right, so our free Bitcoin winner was Crypto Knight, who's watching now. Thank you for your comment. It was very funny. I actually love it. The comment was about Deepak Chopra and his appearance at the Ethereal conference, and what do you think he would do at the conference? Kind of in line with his whole spiritual meditation thing. And what he said was he's going to start his own ethereal blockchain, create a dApp called Pray. And
we got Jesus coin.
And because they got Jesus coin already. And because it's immutable, whatnot, your prayers will always be on the blockchain, which I thought was hilarious. And you can use the Meditate coin in order to do it. So that was one of the things, funny wise, it is kind of funny to look at how you could use certain use cases with tokens. It also kind of shows you the absurdity of how some of these tokens are created. They literally just take anything and say, well, let's tokenize it. And Deepak Chopra could do the same thing. So thank you for your comment. We'll be sending that free Bitcoin to you.
There we go. What's going on, Sergeant Crypto? Checking in from Jamaica. What's going on, Kevin Hodges? Thanks for being here today.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so let's go ahead and jump into it. Main story, of course, is crypto investor Ian Balina hacked for millions of Ether during his live stream yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
I caught some of the video with the news story. For those who don't know, Ian Balina was, he's huge in social media in the crypto space. Not only because he did a rap music video for crypto, but he turned $90,000 into $4 million. So definitely kudos to him. I think he did that in like 12 months. And also, you might remember he was on our live stream about a week or two ago. He popped in the comment section and said what's up to a few people and watched for a bit. So definitely, much love to him for the support. But yeah, it looks like he was hacked. Of course, yesterday he was doing the ICO review. He got logged out of his Google. He was trying to log back in and locked him out. Something was going on. And it looks like he got hacked for about $2 million worth of Ether. So it was unfortunate. He put a tweet out, was it today, saying, early this morning, saying, he needs the crypto family now. He ended the live stream because he was hacked. He's not worried about the money. I mean, I get it, but he's not worried about the money. He learned his lesson. But he only cares about catching the hacker. So email him with any information. Oh, yeah. Now, of course, this is definitely possible. People think the hack came because as of recent, he was sharing his portfolio on Twitter. You can see that where, $100,000 and all that good stuff. And but a lot of people are saying, hey, was he hacked or is it tax season?
Timing is everything.
Timing is everything. It's literally a day before you got to pay up for taxes and everything. Mm-hmm. He's been touting on his crypto investments and all that. Yeah. And in the United States, I mean, if you turn 90,000 to 4 million, they definitely gonna take about 2.5, 3 million of that itself. Yeah. So yeah, people are saying, was he really hacked, or is this a tax escape? What's going on with it?
Yeah. Well, I mean, we won't ever really know, simply because you have to ask him. Who knows? Right. Who knows what really happened? But I will say the timing is a little suspect, as well as the amount. It's literally almost the exact amount that he's shown, on his feed when he shows his portfolio. But at the same time, like we said, security is big in the crypto world. Got to take care of your stuff. And we'll see how it shakes out. But like I said, I've heard this story from a bunch of people before. And I mean, even, McAfee about 10 minutes ago, as soon as right before I got on, stated how he owns nothing. He's like, I don't own cryptocurrency, no cars, no homes, no cash, no nothing. So, even the watch he owns was a loan to him. So, that's what I'm saying. When people think you have, or say you have a lot of money, then tax man's gonna come calling. But,
Right. And, one thing is with him and the whole hack, too, is a couple things. First, it looks as though, when you read the story, saying he was using an old, as a backup email address, he was using an old college email, which, of course, is a no-go. And, I won't try to measure his, what's the word I'm looking for? How much he knows about security in this space.
Security prowess.
Right. His security prowess. Thank you. I won't, try to, say what it is or where it isn't. But, even right now in his tweet, he gave up his Gmail name, a Gmail account. Yeah. So if you're using a Gmail in anything that has to do with crypto, you are like on the wrong end of the security spectrum, unless you have the business accounts through them, whereas it is a different level of security that they do offer. I think it's like $5 a month. We tell everyone to do it if you're going to use a Gmail.
It becomes a legal issue.
Oh yeah, it becomes a serious issue because Google, if you're a paying customer to Google, they don't like you getting played with the toy with, and they will come with that heat for you. But that's serious. You know, you can call them. Yeah, they got some cybersecurity experts too if you're paying. It's literally $5 a month. So if you have a free Gmail and you're using that, anything that have to do with crypto, that's wrong. So for him to even put his Gmail address on here as like, hey, hit me up, again, it's kind of suspect to me as far as how much he knows about security in the space. Or, you know, again, he might know a lot. And again, it's tax season. So
I was gonna say, some people are here saying that. It's like, yeah, well, that man ain't got hacked. You know, I mean, some people don't believe it at all. Like, some people are just like, all right, whatever. Then on the other end of the spectrum, if it is gone, exactly how, you know, going forward, does he continue what he's doing? Because he still has to show, you know, the ISO is investing in things like that. So we'll see. And somebody asked, what email account do you recommend? Proton Mail is a good one. Or like we said, a business account with Google, or you know, any account basically not on Gmail.
Right. Yeah. Again, Bitcoins, they say he uses Proton Mail again. Actually, we got a few clients that Proton Mail is popular. It's good. And then just pay for a Gmail account. People, it's $5 a month. Yeah. Believe me, it's worth it, because what happens if you have a public Gmail account like you do now, you really have to show them a lot of proof if you're hacked for you to get that email back. Yeah. And it's very tough to do, and it takes some time. But with the business account, $5 a month with Gmail, again, this is like, you know, just free advertising. It just works. You can change the domain name, so you can have your own domain if you want, or you can just keep it as a Gmail. But it offers phone support, so if something does happen, you can literally call in and they can look at your billing and all that.
And they'll actually answer.
And within 30 minutes, whatever, you know, 20, 15 minutes. Versus you having this free account, they literally tell you like, hey, there's nothing we can do. Unless
it's 100 million of y'all, bro. Right. We don't know what's going on.
There we go, Alec G. Everybody not tech smart. Alec G said run your own email server. That's true too, though.
Yeah, go ahead and get a server on Volter. You can run your own VPS, virtual private server, VULTR. Sign up there. I think the same, $5 a month. And you literally can run it off there. So, I mean, it's a lot of different ways.
I will say, you know, it does suck when this happens. If this truly did happen, you know, it's not a fun thing. We've been through something like it before, more or less on the exchange side of things. They jack some stuff up, but I can tell you now, he's definitely hurting. He's definitely sick, because
he ain't not missing $2 million.
I didn't get hit for $2 million, trust me, I was very sick. And that happened in 2017, which is why I'm crypto broke these days. So no taxes for me. Seriously. Tim Draper, everybody wants to leave California. What? All right, if you haven't seen this, we kind of
me. He didn't interview me. I'm not going nowhere for a while.
We talked about Tim Draper a little bit last week on Friday. We talked about a $250,000 Bitcoin prediction year 2022. So we talked about him. You know how astute businessman and investor he is, so he knows what he's talking about. But also he has a video on this Cointelegraph article. It's about 20 minutes. I urge you to watch it. Read the article. Cointelegraph did a really good write-up, really good interview. And I can tell you now, this interview is the business, people. When I say shots fired, Tim Draper is speaking like a billionaire who doesn't care who hears him. I mean, he's talking about government,
it's more and more
regulators, states. I mean, he is sending shots in every direction, basically saying, stay away from crypto. You are killing it. He made a great comparison. He was like, you got these regulators and all these politicians in here who, you know, anywhere from 60, 70, 80 years old, and they're trying to tell a bunch of 20 and 30-year-olds what to do with a new industry and their investment choices. He was like, it's not going to work. It's not going to happen.
No, get them out of here.
You are right, because they would see another slew of heart attacks before they think we're going to stop operating how we want to operate, because they say it's against the rules, even though they made up all this blabberish, all these rules and all this nonsense 30, 40, 50 years ago that has no application in today's technology. So to see a billionaire come out like this, is a guy, he doesn't have to come out and say anything, people. He can literally play the establishment game. He is a part of it, whether he wants to be or not. He can play that establishment game. He can say more regulation, security, SEC, all this other stuff. We need these people. He can come in and do that. But instead, he comes out and saying, not only are you all destroying the industry, but he was naming places like Japan and stuff who will become wealthy, because he's saying that if you just leave this thing alone and you let it grow and develop on its own and with its own ecosystem and community, then people will automatically get wealthy and your country will become wealthy. And because of that, he's saying places like New York definitely doesn't do that. He's saying places like California are starting to push people out. He's saying that he thinks everyone's going to leave. He even talked about in this article leaving the United States soon if it comes his way. Again, this is a billionaire who, I mean, come on, he hasn't essentially made here. Who's talking about leaving his country if we continue on the path we're going. So
hey, there's people that have been talking about that for years. They even started their own country. Some people,
right?
So the fact that they've done it, just from a standpoint of actually doing it, when you throw on top of the fact that he's a billionaire who can actually really move and shake some stuff, that's where you start to get this realization that this is real. Like, there's people who are really behind this industry, because I know a lot of people who first get in, they see people like us or maybe their friends who they just kind of are familiar with, and like, all right, Bitcoin, crypto is cool. But then when you see a billionaire who obviously has more experience with you in the financial markets telling you, look, this should not happen. Don't let them do this to you regulation-wise, blah, blah, blah. And if you don't adopt it, you're going to be poor in the next 20 years or whatnot. I would listen. That's all I would say. And Malta is becoming one of those places. A few exchanges just moved there. We've seen, Australia, Estonia, all these places that are starting to welcome blockchain people instead of kind of the Wall Street / Silicon fence they have up, where the Silicon Valley fence, where they kind of like, well, we're already rich, we already know what's going on.
We're billionaires.
We need to run this. And then the blockchain or Bitcoin group of people are like, no, it's over. I'm sorry. Decentralized world is coming. Either get used to it, either get down or lay down. That's basically what he was saying. Somebody said Tim Draper from the hood.
I saw that Tim Draper. He might, the way he's talking. Listen,
get down or lay down.
Again, this is one of those things where it's definitely like an episode of Billions or X Capital. It's definitely I read another book recently that's talking about politicians doing the same. Oh, it was the spook thing, but where politicians might do something for civil rights or do something for refugees when really they don't care. They just like, hey, I just want your vote.
Yeah.
So it could be one of those things where he's just like, hey, I'm investing in, and if it is, it's a smart thing to be a billionaire. I'm not sure how old he is, 40s, 50s, and to make a stand like this for a bunch of 20 and 30-year-olds who he doesn't have to. He is literally securing his financial future in not only America but the world, because you think guys like me 20 years from now won't see a guy like him and be like, how can I help and support whatever you're doing, since you fought back against regulators and other people that was a little bit more tougher for us to fight back against. So, I mean, he's capturing the youth, love it. But right here, the last thing, this Cointelegraph article it has on businesses moving away from the U.S. He was quoted as saying, everyone wants to leave California. Anyone in business wants to leave California, which is true. Anyone in big business does want to leave California.
I see that.
It's beautiful here, but, he even says, because even though the weather is awesome and their friends are probably here, all the incentives are to leave, which is unfortunately true. He said, that's why I want to flee California. I want a fresh start, and also to leave the U.S., but that's a different set of incentives. The taxes are higher here. The services are worse. Education's worse. The roads are poor. You go to Texas, they have no personal income tax. They have great roads. They have a free government encouraging innovation. You need that. He said, New York, they have the problem about that California does. They are overregulated. They're on top of each other. They don't let anybody do anything without filling out forms to do it.
Tragic.
And, again, this is a billionaire, people. And, everybody's always like, well, if you don't like America, leave. I want to see that same crowd tell someone like this that. Because he's saying the taxes are higher, the services are worse, education is worse, the roads are poor, make America great again. I want to see that same crowd tell Tim Draper, well, if you don't like America, you can just pack up and leave.
Hey,
he'll take a whole industry with him and will bankrupt your city as he does it.
Go to an island and say, oh, yeah, you can come here. All you need is proof of any amount of crypto. You can have $1 worth of crypto. You can come here, and then, boom, you have the smartest people moving to a place to build a whole new industry. So, yeah, I don't know what to tell you, but honestly, you have to realize that when the future is coming, you can't get in the way of it. You're trying to step in front of a moving train, and there's people that are literally, they're not even moving in front of the train. They won't get out the way. You're just in the way right now. It's like you're gonna get run over, but you got to figure it out
the hard way.
Find out the hard way.
Psycho Bunny Jones said he's 60. Thanks for that. Oh, Sumitra said born in 1950. Yeah, this is definitely, you can tell he has a young spirit from what he wore during the interview. He had the purple tie with the Bitcoin.
Yeah,
come on,
looking like Bitcoin Q out here.
And this is what we mean when we talk about old. We're not saying old age. We're talking about old mindset. This guy still is 60. He's a billionaire, and he's still on the forefront of business. He's a go-getter. He's reinvesting. He's trying to come up with new businesses, new technologies. He's not stopping. These are the people we like and look up to. Not the people who are 60, 70, 50, whatever.
Or even in mindset, like you just said.
The mindset.
There's 25-year-olds who you could tell about Bitcoin, and they learned from older generation, and they took everything they said as Bible is perfect, as this is exactly how it's supposed to go. So they have an old mindset. They think to themselves, well, no, I'm gonna keep it on going with this, with these 12 stocks that I got recommended by with my old, And it's one of those things where I'm not saying, you can't listen to older people, but ask them about blockchain technology. Do they think it'll change the world in the future? If their answer is I don't know, or they say no, you can kind of ignore their advice on blockchain forever. Because even if you're not involved, if you can't see it coming, you either don't know, don't show, or don't care about what's going on in crypto. So shout out to Doughboy. But
so definitely again want to say shout out to Tim Draper, doing a lot of great things right now. Please continue on the same path. We lose so many of you so quickly, Bill Gates. Please continue on the same path, because you definitely have a lot of people who appreciate it. All right, next up, Russia. Crypto bill review regulates crypto-fiat transactions over $9,600, report says. What is going on in Russia?
Well, it looks like Russia has come up with a digital assets bill, which basically states that know your customer laws kick in with anything or any transaction over $9,600 worth of their money.
Man, here
which
we go.
I believe in America is kind of the same thing. You get flagged if you have over $10,000 transaction through your bank. I've also heard some banks, if you do anything over like $5,000 or $6,000, they'll interview you. Like they'll bring you in and ask you like, what are you using it for? So they're getting close to the point where you can't move large amounts of money.
I might have to get Malta ASAP.
Yeah, exactly.
Like straight up.
It's ridiculous, because I had a friend who was buying a used car, and then she took out $5,500, and that's why I know that they do that. She was like, they called me in for an interview just to ask me what I was doing with that much cash. Like, are you sure you don't want to use the cashier's check? Like, no, I want to take it out, and throw it on my bed and lay in it. I don't care. Like, who cares what I'm gonna do with it? But this seems to be the norm for countries who want to implement KYC laws. Somewhere around $9,000-$10,000 transactions. And like we've stated before, plenty of times, if one country does it, usually other countries copy it. So this is pretty much telling the future of how other countries are probably...
the blueprint they're going to
they'll use,
And just to give you an idea, people, I know we have viewers of all different types of income levels. But 10,000 isn't a lot, people. All right?
It's a drop in the bucket.
It's a drop in the bucket.
Yeah.
So, granted, we have people we know that is a lot of money. But what we mean by that is, if you're actually trying to build wealth, even if you're dirt poor right now, $50 to your name. If you're trying to build wealth, you want to be able to have access to jump in and jump out $10,000, $20,000, $30,000, right? If they're putting this cap on this $10,000, what is that government saying about the entire population? They're saying the majority of you can't or don't need to be having money over this amount. They're already placing a glass ceiling and a barrier on you, which is ridiculous. Again, 10,000, 100,000, a million. Like, why is it their business? It is not their business. And the honest truth is the vast majority of people aren't doing anything illegal. Because if that was the case, this would be the Wild West again. Everybody be running out here with pistols and doing duels and draws all day. You know what I mean? Like,
turn around.
Right. Ball and Chain said countries infringing on the public's rights to spend their hard-earned money how they choose. Exactly. So
we've been saying it for years, and I don't think people realized it that much until recently. That was the bad part. Until the
until Bitcoin blockchain.
Until 08 started coming around and people start getting involved into the monetary system. You have to study money. That's why one of the first things I do when I teach people is show them what money is, and then show them how Bitcoin becomes better money. Because before Bitcoin came, or the financial crisis, most people were thinking, I can move my money as freely as I want. And then now they start to see, hold up, I really can't.
Especially now that you got a crypto.
Now that you got crypto and it's so easy. After you do those transactions, you look at banks totally different. Like, dude, you going to hold my money for how many days?
Well, speaking of restriction, look at Hanoi. Here in Vietnam, Hanoi's Department of Industry and Trade bans crypto use in e-commerce. I love this headline, too. It's Vietnam 2018 saying you can't even use crypto to buy anything. Like, it's illegal. People, this is ridiculous. The Hanoi Department of Industry and Trade has banned organizations and individuals involved in e-commerce business in the city from using Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies to settle online transactions. Transactions online, excuse me. The document cites government decrees on non-cash payment instruments, emphasizing that the issuance, supply, use of Bitcoin and similar virtual currencies is prohibited in Vietnam. Violations are subject to a fine of between about $6,600 and $8,800 for individuals and organizations. Furthermore, as of January 2018, issuing and using cryptocurrencies may be subject to criminal prosecution. So again, we talked about this last week. There are countries, there are people, U.S. kind of included in this, that are willing to prosecute you criminally right next to murderers and rapists and child molesters and all that. They're willing to put you in that same category for using Bitcoin.
Yeah.
People, have we not found a breakthrough in something? All right.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
I can't even get a banh mi sandwich with crypto now. Y'all killing me, Vietnam. But, I mean, it's not, to me, it's not a big surprise anymore. It's just more of now that you know what they're going towards in certain countries, just don't go there. Or just don't deal with them from a Bitcoin standpoint. So, good to see there. I like to see who doesn't like something. So
one positive thing following that story is this Chilean story. Chilean crypto exchanges go to court to fight the banks killing an entire industry.
Fight back.
There we go. We're starting to see more of this. We are starting. This is about the third or fourth story in the last 2 weeks of an alliance being formed or a country or a group of countries going after banks. And this is what it's going to take. It looks like Chilean cryptocurrency exchanges Buddha, Orion X and crypto market have recently applied to an appeals court to confront the banks that shut down their platform's accounts. Bloomberg reported on Friday. The court has agreed to hear the case, but the bank accounts, of course, are still closed. Basically, what the bank accounts is doing, same thing they're actually doing in the United States. You know, we went through this back in 2016 where they will literally just close your account without warning. Anybody who's been in crypto the last few years will tell you that. They'll give you your money back, but they will literally close your bank or your bank account and whitelist you from the entire banking system, no matter where you're in the country. So it's pretty funny, but I'm glad to see that these exchanges are fighting back. Again, this is killing an industry where they're saying that, you know, it's illegal to kind of buy over the counter in some places large amounts of Bitcoin and crypto. So that means I can't take a bag of cash and go buy it because they'll try to arrest either myself or the other person saying, well, you don't know where the money came from. However, banks aren't going to allow you to transfer money into it, even though it's your money. People, again, this is ridiculous. But I'm glad to see that, you know, the fights can. This is the fight. It's happening. It's happening. It's happening.
The people starting to lawyer up now. If you are a lawyer or know somebody that's a lawyer, get into crypto. You're gonna have plenty of cases over the next few years.
I told so many lawyers that back in 2016.
Still telling them. I got friends that are lawyers. I'm like, if you just focused on crypto for the last couple of years, you would be like one of the only lawyers in the world who know what they're even talking about. So yeah, this is why. Yeah,
S1 Dub said when banks call you in for an interview, just start interviewing them with questions about what they do with your money when it's deposited. Trust me, they'll wrap that meat up quick. Yeah, when they interview you, you don't have to answer any other questions. People, I'm telling you, like, I'm not going to throw this. Yeah, I'll throw them under it. Bank of America did it, man. I'm still a customer with them. But they got me. I remember the first time they interviewed me, literally had me in the office, like, cornered, talking about this is just standard procedure. But they was like, I was a criminal, you know what I mean? Like the light, it was dark room. The light was like whizzing back and forth. No, but seriously, they sat me in a room, and as this was happening in my head, I'm laughing because I'm like, oh, y'all got the right one today. Yeah, you got somebody who actually knows about, you know.
That had to have somebody walk in and be like, so you dropped the bottle at 12:45.
Listen,
no, I picked up the bottle. I listen. Yeah, 12:45.
You don't have to.
You just said. You dropped the bottle at 11:45.
What I meant was, listen, you don't have to answer any questions. These bankers, they're bankers, all right? They're not police, none of that. You don't have to answer any question. In fact, you need to question them right back. And at this time, I had been with Bank of America like 9 or something years, so I gave it to them. I was like, go get your money. Like, you going, what? I'm a long-time customer? You're doing me like this? Over a couple, and that's when I realized, like, oh, this Bitcoin thing for real.
Should just start saying, when they start interviewing, just start saying, start with Wakanda, I'm out the room.
Right.
You don't need to talk to me. Don't talk to me.
Oh my goodness. Ex-Google employees form blockchain innovation community for other ex-Googlers. All right, what's going on over here in Google?
Well, it looks like a few people wanted to get together and talk crap about their old boss, which this is what it seems like, and basically start a blockchain alliance, which is always fun, meeting up with old employees. And Google's ex-employees are getting together.
We know there's some of the brightest out there.
Some of the brightest out there getting together and, you know, basically starting this blockchain alliance where they can build products as well as prevent, I guess, the intrusion that Google brings about. Because that is the reason some of them have left. Some left for, you know, other reasons. But I think this is actually positive from a technological standpoint because the smartest people are working on Bitcoin and on blockchain technology. So this is just a reassurance of that. And I think I'm not sure the exact names of the people who are doing it, but once you can kind of get a comprehensive list or whoever's developing, you can kind of look into their past, what they've created before, and we'll see what they create from there. So
we have it highlighted: ex-Googlers and Chinese blockchain community leaders. Hitter Zhu, founder of blockchain platform Nebulous. Daniel Wang, founder of decentralized exchange and open protocol Loopring. And Andy Tian, CEO and founder of Giftel. So a couple things here. This is definitely good in the sense that, for one, let's just put some out there. A lot of actually Google developers, we were talking about Bittrex. One of them did like security for Google or something, cybersecurity. So there's already a ton of these people that already have left, right? But I think this is great that they're forming this in a way that they recognize the need that there isn't enough blockchain developers. And they're saying, hey, let's go ahead and create our own business where we just literally start pushing out nothing but blockchain developers. And I urge everyone in their own industry to do this as well. Of course, it's a little bit easier to do it if you're a Google dev because you probably already sitting on at least $500,000 in your savings account.
Been there, done that.
Right. You can't afford to take some time off and start something new. But again, we were just talking about lawyers and stuff. I mean, so many lawyers we told about, like, this is the future. Once enough traders and users and all that stuff in the crypto community have enough money to where all they're doing is, hey, we do want to sue an exchange, or we want to sue this bank, or go after these people, or the government regulation. They're going to have to pay for lawyers. They want to start new projects. They got to pay for developers. They got to do this. So the more people that literally come into this community and this ecosystem, the more robust it's going to come. So I can't wait to see more groups, not just developers, but other groups, like I said, law firms, or whatever it is, that start to team up and say, hey, let's figure out how to expand this community and bring it to the next level. Yep, brain drain from Silicon Valley. There you go, Crypto Key.
People are leaving. I know people personally who are all in on blockchain and Bitcoin who were just all in on apps 10 years ago. So I can tell you right now,
it's happening.
It's happening.
They're happening.
All
right, Coinbase just bought one of Bitcoin's biggest startups. All right,
word.
It is official, people. Coinbase. You know what? Again, from a community standpoint, kudos. They are literally about to become the Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan Chase of the crypto community, like straight up. Cryptocurrency startup Coinbase has announced the acquisition of Earn.com, one of the industry's best funded startups. Looks like Earn.com used to be called 21 Incorporated.
That's when I joined it.
Right?
21.co.
Previously ran a Bitcoin mining operation powered by technology from Intel, and later launched its, I can't even say that word, anonymous developer-focused 21 Bitcoin computer in 2015. The company was backed by major Silicon Valley investors to the tune of $116 million, raised over multiple funding rounds. However, it looks like since then they changed their sales to Earn.com, and Coinbase has bought them what looks to be upwards of $120 million.
Word.
You're not spending that much money for nothing, especially when you got about 2 or 3 people from TD Ameritrade and Facebook and all these other new executives that are coming in. When they make these purchases, which, I mean, honestly, to them is a drop in the bucket, $120 million. But when they make these purchases, how much do you think they plan to get back from it? That is the thing to key in on.
And if you don't know what Earn.com is, it's basically, it used to be 21.co. Basically, what you would do is put a profile, and people could ask you questions for money. So you could put $1, and I'll answer any question you have, or $5, I'll answer any question, which was pretty popular amongst some of the bigger names. Andres Antonopoulos, Tour Demester, some of these bigger names in crypto. Some of the smaller names like myself, who were first getting into it, it was a good way to sort of practice. I mean, I did it for free, and then when people would ask questions, it was a good way to learn. Because to me, the best way to learn is to try and teach other people. So that actually helped me when I first started. But yeah, Earn.com, pretty solid, idea, novel idea, and I'm not surprised about Coinbase. A lot of the same people who work on Earn.com were involved with Coinbase in the early beginning. So kind of a natural partnership. Yeah.
Right. Good stuff. Well, hey, congrats to Coinbase and on your future of world domination.
Oh, yeah.
Brian Armstrong about to get swole. He's going to be looking like
every support question going to be $1 now.
I know, right? What's the guy from? He's going to be looking like Bezos in no time.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, all right.
All right. Last but not least, Venezuelan cryptocurrency Petro receives the Satoshi Nakamoto Prize in Russia.
Word?
I mean, just looking at the headline, this is literally a way for Russia to undermine the U.S. Like,
yeah,
just straight up, right?
Laugh in the face, poking the ear type thing. It's like, you don't want to use the Petro? Cool. We're going to give them an award just for having the gall to do it.
Right.
I mean, that's basically all this award is. Russia basically telling you we're aligned with Venezuela.
Yeah, we agree with what they're doing.
We agree with what they're doing. Petro is good because it basically got us scared because we did basically what they wanted us to do was, oh yeah, nobody buy the Petro, which as soon as the president says that, what does everybody look at? The Petro. It's free marketing. So they basically used reverse psychology on them and basically made it popular, and now Russia's giving them a Satoshi Nakamoto prize, which I don't know what comes with that.
Right.
Free wallet. What is that? You get seen the white
paper
and laminated pages.
It was received from the Russian Cryptocurrency and Blockchain Association for its outstanding contribution to the development of the blockchain industry. And honestly, I don't know about what, like you said, what this prize is, but that's true. Again, you don't have to like the Petro, agree with it, who made it, none of those things. But a country decided to attempt to make a cryptocurrency.
Yeah.
People. They deserve kudos of some sort, all right? They do deserve something.
And they agreed to become the testing ground for Russia's future crypto ruble, which is what I think is happening. They're basically testing it in Venezuela, see how it goes over, and then whatever mistakes they make, Russia just does the opposite. And then they have their own crypto ruble.
And this is what's crazy right now about all these government agencies, not only here but abroad in different countries as well, trying to say what's right, what's wrong, who's going to go left and right. When you look at Venezuela, the Venezuelan Congress has already declared that the currency is illegal and unconstitutional. And the country's National Assembly has also recently denounced the cryptocurrency as a fraud and a threat to potential investors. However, on the other hand, the Chinese agency Dagong says legitimate. But, here's the thing. You got the president, the dictator, whatever, of Venezuela saying we have this crypto is right. You have their Congress and their National Assembly saying it's illegal, unconstitutional, and is wrong. You have Russia saying it's right. You have China saying it's right. You got the U.S. saying it's wrong. And that's just one country, people. Yeah. Again, they can't regulate or control this thing even if they wanted to. You can see that here where you have a crypto now that's maybe illegal, maybe legal in their own country.
Who knows?
But other countries are recognizing it. Again, we said this before, we'll say it again. Everything's up for grabs at this point in life, right?
Yeah.
Like,
this is as free as you're going to be,
this is as free as it's going to get.
This is the best time to be a crypto.
Like, you should be running circles around people when it comes to business and stuff because of the opportunities we have right now, all from this internet. Absolutely. All right, for the free Bitcoin today, what are we doing?
So, for the free Bitcoin, we have the Ian Balina hack, which we talked about, as well as a story about crypto billionaires and some of their purchases. Do you think that's good for crypto to show off how much you've made, to show off things that you purchased, islands, Lambos, whatever? Everybody wants to buy Lambos. Do you think it's good for crypto or do you think it's bad? Is it a red flag? You put a target on yourself, flaunting wealth you don't actually have, so to say. So let us know. Put your public address and we'll send that free Bitcoin.
All right, there you go. So you said, is it good or bad to
flaunt your crypto wealth? Yeah.
All right, and tell us why, people. Is the Petro on the market or is it just for Venezuela? I haven't never checked, honestly. Is Petro on the market?
I believe it's on the market. It's not on U.S. markets that I know of, but I haven't checked.
Yeah, I'm not even trying to Google search that, man. You're trying to get this line all the way down.
Oh, so you're interested.
Right.
Google's algorithm for
We're going to meet President Trump personally. Like, we know you guys watch the news. You thought we was playing with you?
Yeah, the Google interested algorithm.
We haven't checked it out. Other than that, you can listen to our podcast, Google Play Music, Spotify, Apple Podcast app. I believe we may be on iHeart by now. I know we've been waiting to upload on there. Tune in radio. And, of course, you can catch us tomorrow, every day, Monday through Friday at 10-ish.
10-ish.
Cheers until tomorrow, folks.
Have a good one, people.